Now we're going to continue here, because we said that we have two powerful tools that impact the quality of our lives. And what are those? The first one is our ability to control our emotions. Our ability to control and manage our emotional state. We talk about emotional state this weekend. And it's so important to understand that, by the way, everything that you do it because of the state that you find yourself in. Good or bad? Yeah, in other words, everything that you do, good or bad, you're doing it because of your emotional state. Make sense? All right. That was a good answer. So it's important to understand that the state, and by the way, talking about state, we're going to do something very important right now. We're going to get everybody we're going to help you to learn how to get yourself in a peak state, in the peak optimal state. And the way we're going to do it, by the way, is the following. Now, the second factor that we're going to mention here, the second powerful tool, is to understand that you become the average of the 5 people that you surround with. You become the average of the 5 people that you surround with. But let's talk about state for a minute. See, the state that you find yourself in is what it's going to allow you to take action or not, whether you're going to take action or not. And so we're talking about taking action as being, if not the number one step to get what you want in life, to make things happen. And we mentioned that the reason that people don't take action, we're going to go into that in a minute, is because the state that you find yourself in is what determines whether you're going to take action or not. Now, so having said that, we're going to go ahead and help you to get into a state. It's called the optimal state. And this state is going to help you to get everything that you want. If you're able to actually condition this state, because by the way, people condition themselves to fail. You all know, you have heard this story of how they condition elephants. And they are baby elephants, right? All of you know the story, right? No? Let's go over that briefly. And a baby elephant, by the way, the way it's conditioned to stay still. If you see an elephant, a big elephant, an adult elephant, you see an adult elephant that they only have one of the legs tied up to a small stack, they call it. And you wonder, well, how come? I mean, this animal is so strong that he could pull so easily and get away. He could pull that tie that he has around his leg, around his leg. But why is it that he doesn't do it? It's because, my friends, this animal was conditioned since he was a baby, that initially what they did is that they tied him up, and he was a baby elephant. So they tied him up with something strong. So the baby elephant tried to get away, but he couldn't. As time was going by, this elephant was then becoming an adult, and they continued pulling him, but as time went by, they were actually decreased. They decreased the strength of the rope. And it got to the point that they can control the elephant with a very, very tiny rope. And the reason is because as time went by, this elephant was being conditioned that any time that they put something around his leg, he couldn't move. And it's sad because the story goes that in 1953, this circus, Ringo of Bailey's, right? That's what it's called? Ringo of Bailey's? Yeah, Ringo of Bailey's, that's the name of the circus, right? In this circus, when they came to a city here in the US, 11 elephants died because there was a fire in the circus, and these 11 elephants were tied up. The only thing that could have saved them, I mean, it was just that they were tied up to a stack with a rope that they could have very easily got away. But because these elephants were conditioned since they were babies to be tied up there and no move, they died. It is a sad story, but it's a story that reflects what happens to most human beings. Would you agree that all human beings condition themselves
Yes.
to failure, to depression, You think that people can condition themselves to be depressed all the time?
Yes.
They use a strategy. You think that people condition themselves to be poor all the time?
Yes.
To get, to reject money? To reject happiness? Yes. There is another story about how, and this, there are several stories about conditioning, but it's important to understand. There is another story that I wanted to share with you. This story is it's called the northern pike. The northern pike is an aggressive fish. It's a predator. This fish, the northern pike, preys on another small fish, which is called the minnow. The minnow fish. The minnow, right? Now, what happens? They do an experiment. And here, every time that the northern pike saw a minnow, they just grab that fish in an instant. What happened? They put it in a tank, big tank, and they put both fishes. And here, the northern pike was, he was conditioned to just go for it. But what happened? They put a big tank, glass tank, covering the space. Every time that he saw a minnow, one of these fishes that he just got so easily, he went for the fish, and every time that he went for the fish, his nose shocked, or actually got blocked against the glass. They did it so many times that eventually this northern pike was conditioned to every time that he saw a minnow, he said, if I go for it again, it's going to hurt. Initially he continued, until finally he was conditioned that every time that he went for it, it hurt. And what happens? After so many times, they removed the tank. Listen to this. They removed the tank. And they had plenty of minnow fish that they could go for it. That this particular northern pike could go for it. You know what? This northern pike starved to death, in other words, died of starvation. Because he had everything around him that he could get it. The food to survive. But because he was conditioned that every time that he went for it, it was going to hurt. He was conditioned that he couldn't go for those. And again, this is a very, very typical example of the vast majority of people that condition themselves having all of the opportunities in the world, in every area of their lives, and they get conditioned that they cannot do it, and they cannot get it. Is this making sense what we're talking about here?
Yes.
I want you to remember this. These are stories that make you think. But these are stories that all of you can see yourself in those stories. I was there before. So, the question is, can you be conditioned to be depressed all the time?
Yes.
Can you be conditioned to feel rejected all the time?
Yes.
Can you be conditioned to be poor all the time?
Yes.
Can you be conditioned to be unhappy?
Yes.
Does that happen to a lot of people?
Yes.
What you're going to learn today is how to uncondition that. But it's so important to understand that the ability to manage your state is what's going to help you to go beyond that.